The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Many of you are probably in the midst of deja vu right now. Indeed, this gospel that I just proclaimed was also proclaimed yesterday. And the reason I wanted to use this today, because I think there's so much of the feeding of the multitudes that needs to be kind of almost like a wet washcloth. You got to keep bringing it out to get the most out of it, to wring out the residual water, if you will. And so it is true with this gospel as well. It is one that it really keeps on giving. There's a great deal here in the story of the feeding of the multitudes. One aspect of this gospel today is the brokenness that we see in Jesus in today's gospel. It's very easy for us to see Jesus who has his act together, who we think has total control over the situation. But this gospel really says something different. This gospel tells us that indeed his heart is moved with pity, but it is also a heart broken. He performs and celebrates this miracle from a place of deep woundedness. A place that many of us maybe are living through at this very moment. The loss of a family member, the loss of a friend, the loss of a co-worker. For Jesus, that was John the Baptist. And the Baptist, in reality, was probably the only one who could really understand Jesus. His quest, his desire for the mission of the kingdom and the reign of God. The Baptist was probably the only one who could get Jesus. And now this Baptist is gone. And we hear that Jesus, really, if you looked at the Greek words that used in the beginning of this gospel, that he needed a place to be away, it really speaks of Jesus kind of falling apart in the midst of the sorrow. That he's suffering. And amazingly, it's only from the point of view of suffering that Jesus sees just how broken and hungry that crowd is on that hillside. And it's from that place of almost emptiness where we just don't think we can give anything more. That is where Christ takes the little that the disciples have, 5 loaves, 2 fish, and feeds the multitude of those who are broken and hungry. It's interesting that Jesus, in this moment of brokenness in his life, Jesus, yes, opens his heart to this miracle and performs this wonderful multitude, blessing of the loaves and the fish, and blessing, breaking, and sharing. But he's only able to carry it out by asking and inviting the disciples to distribute. Indeed, all of us are in this gospel. Jesus, indeed, is the one who blesses, breaks, and shares, and gives. But do you realize that God does this through you? That even when we are in the midst of our sorrows, our crosses, our brokenness, Jesus is still inviting us in his love and mercy to continue to look about our lives, to take, to bless, to share, to break it open for those who are hungry, those who are broken around us.